In the heart of a serene town, where life moved in a slow, rhythmic pattern, a librarian named Emily bore witness to chilling anomalies within the hallowed halls of her library. Emily, known far and wide as the dedicated custodian of the town's repository of knowledge, was known for her quiet, methodical existence. Her daily routine was punctuated by the soft rustle of paper, the earthy scent of old books, and the murmured secrets of authors long gone. However, as days melded into weeks, Emily began to perceive oddities that defied logic. Books, once neatly arranged by her, began rearranging themselves on her beloved oak shelves, forming an indecipherable pattern known only to them. With each sunrise, the library seemed to have a new secret, a new puzzle for her to solve. Almost as if the books were sentient entities. In the eerie silence of the library, whispers began to resonate, soft at first, almost like a breath against her ear, easily dismissed as a figment of her imagination. But as time crawled on, they grew in intensity, transforming into distinct voices, their hushed undertones bouncing off the centuries-old walls, making the air pulsate with a chilling energy. Mysterious incidents of pages flipping on their own added to the enigma. Books that she had meticulously closed would be wide open the next day, certain pages turned down as if they were caressed by unseen ethereal fingers. Intrigued and unnerved, Emily immersed herself in solving the mysterious happenings. Her thirst for answers grew with each passing day, her determination to unmask the truth behind the strange phenomena turning into an obsession. And as she goes deeper, she stumbled upon a chilling revelation. The books, her world, were possessed. These weren't any ordinary spirits, but the restless souls of their authors, their voices whispering their untold tales and unspoken words. The flipping pages represented their favorite passages, their most treasured words coming alive. This revelation shook Emily, yet an inexplicable bond pulled her closer. She felt a kinship with these authors whose work she had revered for years. She wondered whether she had unwittingly opened a gateway to their spectral world. But a sense of dread drenched her as she investigated further. The whispers crescendoed, the pages flipped with an urgent frenzy, and a bone-chilling coldness enveloped her. Emily sensed that she had just skimmed the surface, that these spectral authors had a lot more to reveal. The terrifying reality was that this was just the prologue to her eerie journey into the unknown. Little did she know, this was just the onset of her terrifying odyssey. The spirits of these spectral scribes were not just ordinary phantoms, they were the vengeful souls of authors, wronged by those who dared to alter or destroy their works. They moved with a grace that sent shivers down Emily's spine, their translucent forms gleaming in the ethereal half-light of their haunting realm. Their spectral faces, etched with centuries-old indignation, were marked by the scars of time, their eyes glowing with an unearthly fire. Each was a spectral figure of grandeur and despair, clothed in robes of faded glory, their transparent hands clutching quills made from broken dreams and lost opportunities. Their anger was palpable, a raw, open wound. It was the rage of countless sonnets disassembled, of novellas carelessly discarded, of rich narratives torn asunder. It was the collective outrage of beautiful prose butchered, of magnificent epics dismantled and innovative narratives disregarded. Their spectral whispers spun tales of such desecration, each mournful tale a tempest, a relentless storm that raged through Emily's soul. The tales were horrifying. The spirits spoke of authors whose works were defaced, masterpieces dashed to pieces. They told of a novelist who had seen his life's work distorted beyond recognition, of a poet whose verses were erased, replaced by crude illustrations. Emily listened, each chilling account an icy wind sweeping across her soul, chilling her to the marrow. The spirits exacted their revenge in chilling ways. One spectral scribe told of a critic who had dismissed his entire body of work as unworthy of attention. The critic had suddenly found himself tormented by nightmarish visions of the stories he had so lightly dismissed, his mind a playground for the spectral author's wrath. Another was the tale of a librarian who sold rare signed copies to be made into decorative trinkets. The spectral author of the books had seen to it that the librarian was haunted by the ghosts of the stories she had so thoughtlessly destroyed, her nights filled with endless retellings of her literary sins. Emily watched as a hapless student who had casually ripped a page from a priceless tome was held accountable. The spectral authors descended upon him, their ethereal forms transforming into terrifying apparitions of their wrath. The student froze in terror as spectral spiders, woven from the threads of the story he had defiled, crawled from the book and spun web of words around him. His scream echoed in the silence, a chilling testament to the power of the spectral scribe's revenge. They were custodians of stories, guardians of written word, avenging angels for the disrespected authors. Their presence was a chilling reminder of the fear, the horror, and the beauty of literature. Each spectral scribe was a unique, terrifying embodiment of their literary passion and dedication, and their enduring wrath was a haunting testament to their power. As the sole custodian of the library, Emily was gripped by a profound sense of duty, an obligation born out of her deep reverence for the written word. This feeling was far from casual. It was a calling that had taken root in her being the very first time she entered this sacred haven of wisdom and imagination. The library wasn't merely a building filled with books to her. It was a holy sanctum, where the essence of history etched itself into every tome and scroll. Her primary function was not limited to the mundane tasks of operations, but expanded to the preservation of the multitude of narratives that resided within the silent confines of the library. The stories imprinted onto the pages of each book were not merely tales, but sentient beings, each possessing their unique soul. They were the echoes of generations bygone, each communicating their legacy through the medium of the written word. Emily felt the weight of honoring these spirit voices, acknowledging their existence and the indelible mark they had left on the world. This sense of responsibility was intense, a bond that reached beyond the physical world, formed through the mystic potency of literature. To acknowledge their legacy, she resolved to establish rigorous regulations and severe consequences for any form of mismanagement of these precious artifacts. Her resolve was unyielding. She would not allow the sacred aura of the library to be tarnished by the thoughtless and disrespectful. Each book was to be handled with utmost reverence, treated as the cherished relic that it was. Emily was well aware of the painstaking efforts, the countless hours of dedication and meticulous labor that went into the creation of each book. She was familiar with the mental and emotional toil the authors had endured during the writing process, and she demanded every patron to understand and respect this. However, the mere knowledge of these sacrifices was not sufficient for Emily. She felt compelled to enlighten every visitor, to impart on them the true importance of respecting the authors and their work. She crafted narratives of the harsh journey each author had undertaken, the unyielding pursuit of perfection in every sentence, every page. The library was not just an assortment of bound papers. It was a sanctuary for stories and their creators. In the hush of the library, amongst the rustling of pages and the faint murmurings of countless authors, Emily had made a silent pledge, an esoteric contract, a vow that would forever link her to these spectral authors. She was to serve as their protector, the sentinel over their works, ensuring their continual existence in the face of indifference and obscurity. In reciprocation, they would sustain their spectral harmony, allowing the library to remain a beacon of knowledge and creativity. The enforcement of such strict rules and penalties was met with a mixture of shock and awe by the visitors. Some balked at the severity of the penalties, while others marveled at Emily's unwavering commitment to preserving the sanctity of the library. Yet, amidst the murmurs and the surprise, the library thrived, serving as a silent testament to the pact between Emily and the spectral authors, a pact etched in the annals of time. Despite Emily's unwavering resolve and her painstaking efforts to protect the sacred sanctuary of the library, the spirits of the spectral authors were not appeased. Her rules, while stringent, were not enough to prevent the occasional mishandling of the books by the uninitiated, those who failed to comprehend the profound sanctity of the written word. Each instance of disrespect, each careless handling of a book, each negligent whisper in the hallowed silence of the library, was perceived as an affront by the spectral authors. Their anger began to simmer, slowly growing, feeding off the repeated transgressions until it reached a boiling point. The spirits, in their wrath, began to torment Emily. They whispered in her ears, their voices echoing in the silence of the library, their words seeping into her mind, a ceaseless barrage of accusations and recriminations. They blamed her for the disrespect, held her responsible for every mishandled book, every broken rule. The voices were relentless, their spectral harmony disrupted, replaced by a cacophony of anger and resentment. Emily, the once steadfast custodian of the library, was driven to the brink of madness. The voices consumed her, their incessant whispers echoing in her mind, leaving her no peace. She was tormented day and night, the spectral authors showing no mercy, their anger unquenchable. Eventually, Emily met a tragic end. The voices overpowered her, their spectral torment too much for her to bear. She was found one morning, lifeless amidst the very books she had sworn to protect, her spirit claimed by the library she had served so diligently. In the end, the library claimed another victim, a silent testament to the wrath of the spectral authors, a reminder of the profound respect the written word commands. The library, once a beacon of knowledge and creativity, was now a haunting reminder of the tragic fate that befell Emily, the custodian who dared to protect its sanctity.